Good evening, everyone, from John Sapin Field in Columbia, Mississippi. It's time for area high school baseball action as your Sumrall Bobcats go up against the Columbia Wildcats in this cat fight tonight. I'm Kelly Sander along with Mac Baudouin, our producer engineer tonight. Perfect night for baseball, very much like last night up in Mize, where the Bobcats really saw the baseball well and collecting their 19th win of the year. Sumrall coming into this game tonight 19-5, Columbia 14-9. For the Wildcats, Barrett Brazil will lead it off and play center field. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Landon Holloman. Walker Long bats third. He's the catcher. Connor Walker, the DH tonight. Hitting for Drew Davis. Walker batting fourth. Cade Clinton batting fifth, playing left field. Landon Hawkins, the third baseman, is batting sixth. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Leo Odom. And then rounding out the batting order for the Wildcats, Tyson Hicks batting eighth. So Brazil at second base after the walk and the pass ball, and Holloman with a 3-1 count now. He was taking on the 3-0. So again, it's Brazil, Holloman, Long, Walker, Clinton, Hawkins, Odom, Hicks, and Baudouin. That pitch is inside, so consecutive walks have got the Bobcats in business here early on. Here's Walker Long. the Sumrall catcher, facing Lane Robertson, the left-handed pitcher for Columbia, and already the coaching staff for the Wildcats wanting to talk it over with Robertson as Andy Davis comes down and talks to Walker Long. Our webcasts on the Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel brought to you by Diversified Forestry Management, Real South Hunting, American Graphics, thank you to Stan Welburn, Watts Brothers Implements, Kids Campus Learning Center, that's kids with a K, campus with a K, Landry Lewis and Germany Architects, the Alpha Insurance Agency of Spencer Nixon, Winburn Lawn and Landscaping, Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating, and High and Tight Gentlemen's Club. It's where the guys like to go to get their hair cut. Karen and Emily Thompson are watching tonight. They say go Bobcats. We do know that we lost the signal for just a moment, but apparently we're all systems go now. Time for the Sumrall roll call. Check in at 601-310-7077 as the Thompsons already have. We'd like to know where you're watching the game from tonight. Lights are on here at John Sapin Field. Robertson has runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the first inning. The last district game of the year for both of these clubs. That ball is fouled out of play to the right side. Jim and Glenda Cody are watching from the 601 area code. Glad to have them along. Got started just a little bit late. It was a scheduled 7 o'clock starting time. Last night, the Mize game started at 6, no JV, of course. Tessa Morales, it's been a while since we've heard from Tessa, or at least that I've heard from Tessa. She's checking in, watching the game from home tonight. A good Sumrall contingent on hand. But you got two communities that really support their baseball teams here. 0-1 the count. Too long. Breaking ball, tried to drop it in there, but it was too high. 1-1. Top of the first inning. We'll get to the Columbia batting order when the Wildcats come to bat in the bottom of the first. Columbia comes in with a 14-9 record. Talking with Kyle Lindsay before the game, the Columbia coach. They're in the playoffs at either 3 or 4, depending on what happens tonight here and Poplarville and Lawrence County. And at last report, Poplarville was winning that game. 5-0 was the last report we got that the Hornets were up in that game. So 2-1, the count to Walker Long. He'll be followed by Connor Walker. There's a chopper towards short. They'll go to third for the force out, for the first out of the inning. Rather than try to roll the double play, they got the lead man on the fielder's choice. So one away.
Number 45, Connor Walker.
Malik McNair will run for Connor Walker. So Holloman is at second, McNair is at first, and here's Connor Walker now as Walker Long reaches on the fielder's choice. Lefty versus lefty this matchup. Kind of a check swing, but did get a piece of the bat, constituting a foul ball. Pat Russell is watching from Sumrall tonight. It says go Bobcats. Thanks, Pat, for tuning in. Also from the 601 area code. With these smart TVs now, you can sit out on the back porch with the big screen TVs or in the comfort of your own living room, and we take it seriously, the responsibility we have to being your eyes and ears. Last district game for Sumrall. They will have one more regular season game. It'll be against Oak Grove, and that game will be Thursday at Oak Grove. Breaking ball's too high, 1-1. The game with Oak Grove was scheduled to be played this coming Friday, but the weather forecast looks ominous at best on Friday, so precautionary measures, they've moved the game to Thursday night at Oak Grove. So that'll be the last regular season game for the Bobcats. Now time is called at the plate. Drew Davis gets the pitching assignment tonight for Sumrall. The catcher for the Wildcats, as I understand it, for Columbia is an 8th grader. And then you got Drew Davis pitching for Sumrall, 8th grader. So both of these cupboards have got some players coming up that'll help their teams progress. 2-1 the count to Connor Walker with Cade Clinton, rather. on deck. Clinton caught some last night. Played right field. He's playing left field tonight. That little bender drops in there for strike two. One away, 2 on here in the top of the first. And it's usually not the hits that will hurt you. It's the preceding walks ahead of those hits that will hurt you. The 2-2 pitch. Inside corner, got him. Thought it was inside, he did, and then it broke across the plate on the inside corner right at the very last minute. So 2 away now. And here's Cade Clinton. So runners will be moving on contact, but you've got a lot of speed out there. And Holloman at second and Malik McNair at first. First pitch is a strike. So after kind of a tentative start here by the pitcher Lane Robertson, he has battled back here and surrendered nothing on the scoreboard yet. The 0-1 pitch. Runners going. Breaking ball. Throw to third is into left field. 1 run will score. McNair rounding second. He is being waved home. Play at the plate is not in time. Talked about McNair's speed, and he got all the way around. 2 runs are in for Sumrall on the overthrow. So 2 runs in. We just talked about that speed. Another pitch by Clinton is a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes, but the Bobcats did the damage and got a gift on a bad throw, but 2 runs are across. So for Sumrall in the top of the first, 2 runs on no hits. There was an error. Nobody left on base. Anytime you can get 2 runs on no hits, you're doing okay. So Drew Davis will begin warming up here. Let's go over the Columbia lineup. Wildcats coming in with a 14-9 record. Nijah Kane will lead off. The third baseman has been a mainstay for Kyle Lindsey at third base. Colin Haney, the shortstop, bats second. Dylan Wallace playing right field. He's batting in the 3-hole. Then comes Eli Lowry, that big, strong first baseman for the Wildcats. J.R. Rogers, the DH, he's batting 5th, followed by Walker Hobgood. Been a Hobgood or 2 come through the Columbia program over the years. At least 1 or 200 Hobgoods. Lane Robertson, the pitcher, will bat 7th, and then rounding out the Wildcat order will be M.T. Breland and Grayson Carney. Breland, the second baseman, Carney at catcher. Defensively, in center field is Luke Masello, the center fielder for Columbia. J.R. Rogers is hitting for him. So for Columbia, it's Kane, Haney, Wallace, Lowry, Rogers, Hobgood, Robertson, Breland, and Carney to face Drew Davis here in the bottom of the first inning, scheduled for 7. Let's check in on the text message line again. Raymond and Truvy McRaney are grilling and chilling tonight. They're watching from Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg. Always good to have the McRaneys around. Not doing as much traveling to these remote places in Mississippi that they would always say that they were watching from. And here's Nijah Kane now. Righty versus righty as for Davis's first pitch is in there, a breaking ball strike. You got an 8th grade pitcher for Sumrall, an 8th grade catcher for Columbia. Nijah Kane leading it off. That pitch is low. No wind at all here. One of the things I love about this setting at Columbia, both in football and baseball, is plenty of trees, which you just don't see a lot of trees around anymore. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, just missed. 2-1. Boy, you know, it's tough to give up any runs, but when 2 of them score on one play on a throwing error, that hurts. It's outside 3-1 now to Kane. Sumrall will await the results of other games tonight to find out if they will be the 1 or the 2 seed. There's a strike on the corner. Count fills at 3-2. Purvis and Sumrall will either be 1-2 or 2-1, however you want to shake it out. And Columbia, and it looks like Poplarville will be the other ones as Nija Kane slaps a single to left field to start it off for the Columbia first. Sharply hit ball between third and short. As the Wildcats in business, and here's Colin Haney now, the shortstop for the Wildcats. Kyle Lindsay, the head coach at Columbia, he has been an assistant coach at Petal. He's been an assistant coach here. He's been a pitching coach at Pearl River Community College. Purvis High School graduate, was on that Southern Miss World Series team. So knows a little bit about pitching. That one is fouled into the screen here to our right. Walter Payton Field is over to our right. The beautifully redone football stadium here at Columbia. Well, they've put together 2 or 3 great football teams in a row. You know, so much is made of this district when it comes to baseball with Purvis and Sumrall and Columbia. But when you look at football, I mean, Poplarville, Columbia, I mean, they've had some great battles. Haney in the hole here, 0-2 to Davis as he goes from the stretch. Another breaking ball. Got him on a breaking ball. One away, and that'll bring up Dylan Wallace. And Kyle Lindsay wants to have a discussion with the home plate umpire. And in a good sign of sportsmanship, Dylan Wallace and Walker Long shake hands at home plate. Kane at first with 1 out here. Christy Martin has checked in, it looks like, from Folsom. And I don't know, Christy, did I miss your text last night up in Myers? I'm not sure, but she's watching on the big screen tonight down in Louisiana. Breaking ball, strike. 0-1 now to Wallace. Lowry on deck. Kane being held at first base. Leo Odom over there defensively for Sumrall. Bobcats have Hawkins at third, Holloman at short, Hicks at second, Odom at first. Here's the 0-1 fastball, strike on the corner. And the outfield left to right has Clinton, Brazil, and Baudouin. 0-2 to Dylan Wallace. Drew Davis shakes off a couple of signals. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball right down the middle, caught him looking for strike 3. So here's Eli Lowry playing first base. Kane will be moving on contact now with 2 away. Breaking ball, that one's low. Long keeps it in front of him. And do you know why Eli Lowry plays first base? Because that's where he wants to play. I would imagine he gets to play wherever he wants. Want to know the count to the left-handed cleanup hitter for the Wildcats, looking to avenge an earlier season loss to the Bobcats. They're playing him to go the opposite way ever so slightly. 1-0 pitch is outside 2-0. Should Lowry reach, then the designated hitter, J.R. Rogers, would come to bat. Beautiful night here in Columbia, but then again, what night in Columbia isn't? Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low, 3-0 now. Checking our text message line again. Miss Shirley. Shirley Haddix is watching from home again tonight. Miss Shirley, glad to have you along. It was good to get to talk to you a little bit at the last home game. She always goes out of her way to make sure I get a neck hug. 3-0 pitch is at the knees for a strike, 3-1. Of course, I came early to the game tonight to maybe get some ice skating in, but I'm about 6 months too early, or 7 months too early, aren't I? Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one that was out of the zone, and the count fills at 3-2. Miss Anita Sumrall, the boss, is watching from Stringer tonight where the Lady Cats are playing softball. Stringer and Sumrall. Go Cats. Good to hear from the boss, Anita Sumrall. Runner going. That pitch is inside. Ball 4. And, of course, with 3-2 and 2 outs, you would be moving. So Kane at second. Lowry at first. And here's J.R. Rogers. Bottom of the first inning. Wildcats trying to answer with some runs of their own after the Bobcats put up 2 that were unearned. Breaking ball drops in there beautifully for strike 1. Should Rogers reach, then Walker Hobgood, the left fielder, would come to the plate. Here's the 0-1. That one is lifted into the screen to our right, so Rogers in an 0-2 hole here. So the playoffs will begin next Tuesday. The playoffs will begin a week from tonight at Sumrall. We know that. We just don't know who the opponent will be. It'll be a Tuesday, Friday, Saturday round. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. They'll have to clean it up. And side retired. So for the Wildcats, no runs on 1 hit. There were 2 men left. No errors. We've completed one here at John Sapin Field in Columbia. The Bobcats lead the Wildcats 2-0. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Back in Columbia tonight, the Bobcats will send Hawkins, Odom, and Hicks to the plate here in the top of the second inning. Again, if you missed it a little bit earlier, Oak Grove was originally going to play Hattiesburg on Friday night, but because of a lot of rainouts, Hattiesburg needed that night to finish up some district play. So Lamar County rival Oak Grove was put on the schedule, and the game was set to be played at Oak Grove this Friday, but if you look at the Weather Channel forecast, it looks pretty ugly on Friday. So in order to get the team in, or the game in rather, so that both teams can get some finishing work done before the playoffs, they have moved that game to Thursday. Sumrall at Oak Grove on Thursday night, and then the Bobcats will open the 4A playoffs next Tuesday at home. So here's Hawkins, who was the winning pitcher last night at Mize, and he will face Lane Robertson, the lefty, here in the second inning. Robertson gets the sign and deals. Breaking ball, strike. You got to feel bad for Robertson because really those runs were not because of anything that he did. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on. This ball down the right field line is twisting. It's fair, just inside the line. Hawkins takes a wide turn, but then pulls the parachute and will head back to first. He's there with a long, loud single to start the second inning. And here's Leo Odom. Let's check our text line. The Gum Pond Ditos. I've always said that sounds like a bluegrass group, doesn't it? The Gum Pond Ditos. They are watching tonight from Tennessee. Probably up in the Smoky Mountains somewhere, maybe playing some of that bluegrass music. Huh? The Gum Pond Ditos. First pitch gets by the catcher, and Hawkins will streak down to second base. So double play off of the table here. Leo Odom has really been seeing the ball well lately. Had a home run last night. I think he had a homer and a double last night. And in a prior game, last Friday, Odom, I think, went 4 for 4. I mean, he has really been on a tear. 1-1 the count here from Robertson. Hawkins in a non-force situation at second base. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play to the right. So Odom in a 1-2 hole here. Tyson Hicks on deck. Tyson Hicks hitting for himself tonight. He's been in a situation much of the year where he was lifted for a DH, but getting more cuts lately at home plate. The 1-2 delivery. Odom swings and misses. They'll have to go to first. Throw to third. But Hawkins, with alert base running, gets to third anyway. So Odom is a strikeout victim. One away, and here's Tyson Hicks.
Number 1, Tyson Hicks.
Hicks, being a left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher, will try to get something to the right side of the infield. That is to say, the second or first base side, so that he can get Hawkins home. That pitch is outside. And of course, Robertson, knowing that, will try to work him outside, on the outside part of the plate. Kane at the elbow at third, again working the outside and catching the corner for a strike. Or if Hicks could get a fly ball deep enough to where Hawkins could tag on the sacrifice. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, missed low. D and Junior are watching from Sumrall. Apparently in trouble with the IRS, are not giving their last names. Just D and Junior. Of course, tax day was what? Yesterday, wasn't it? Swung on right into the screen in front of us here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Boy, the text message line going crazy tonight. Glad that you guys are checking in. We know a lot of you are waiting for this broadcast to get started. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just able to stay alive. Tessa Morales has got a little one there at the house watching tonight. Again, we understand the responsibility we have and appreciate you entrusting that to us. 2-2 pitch again. Hicks tried to lay off of it, and he did, and the count goes full at 3-2. Coach Cooley down there at first base with the short sleeves tonight. Andy Davis pretty much always goes with those short sleeves. Payoff pitch is inside, ball 4. So Hicks is on base with a 1-out walk. The runners are now at the corners. And here comes Hampton Baudouin.
Number 12, Hampton Baudouin.
The right fielder, he hit a missile last night in Mize that they are still looking for. It didn't matter what the distance was down the left field line. They were not going to find it. I mean, he turned on it. Bobcats looking for a crisply hit ground ball here as the left-handed pitcher looks right at the runner and then comes to the plate, and there's a strike on the corner. Baudouin may have been on the take there. Hampton Baudouin, who throughout his career has battled some arm soreness, some arm problems here or there. Now he's asking for time, not getting it at the plate. The 0-1 is inside 1-1. A ball, a strike, and an out. Sumrall put 2 across in the first, looking for more here in the top of the second as the sun getting ready to disappear for the day. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, strike on the corner. And the catcher, Grayson Carney, with the pump fake, trying to get Hawkins off of third. But Hicks goes to second base uncontested. And back at the ranch here, it's a 1-2 count to Baudouin. Runners in a non-forced situation, so Hicks should do whatever Hawkins does. That's just off the edge for a 2-2 count now. Top of the order, Barrett Brazil is on deck. He walked his first time up, wound up being stranded at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lane Robertson on the hill for Columbia. The 2 runs that he gave up in the first inning were unearned. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one that was out of the zone. So Baudouin is down on strikes. 2 away now, and again, here's Barrett Brazil. I asked Barrett, first thing I saw him, I said, have you got the stuffed animal? He said, oh yeah, I had to go back to the house to make sure I got it. It's with them in the dugout. They're playing him to go the opposite way here ever so slightly. Breaking ball and a doozy in there for a strike. Well, that was the prettiest pitch Robertson has thrown tonight. Started inside, looking that Brazil thinking it was going to be inside, and then it dove across that inside corner. The 0-1 pitch, trying to work the outer part of the plate there and missed 1-1. So the Bobcats will be moving on contact now with 2 away. No reason to worry about a line drive double play here to try to extend a 2-0 lead. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Look out, Hawkins. A big lead there at third. Two and one the count to Brazil. Landon Holloman is swinging a stick over here to the right. He's hoping to get another crack. Here's the 2-1. Inside, 3-1. Purvis and Sumrall will be 1-2 in either one of those orders. Columbia and Poplarville will be the other one. Swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. That'll get out of play. So the count fills now at 3-2. You know, I thought, Mac, that my Tigers were going to be bad. They've won 5 in a row, buddy. How about that? Swept the Guardians today in a doubleheader. Here's the 3-2. High and inside. Ball 4. Brazil has walked again. That's why you're in that leadoff spot, is you have a good eye, know what you're looking for, and kind of get a lot of walks to get on base. Coach Davis's parents and Drew Davis's grandparents, who are the same people, by the way. They're in Smith County watching tonight. Couldn't make the trip, so we're glad that they're with us on the YouTube stream. That's high and away to Holloman. He walked and wound up being the first run that came in on that overthrow at third. No place to put him here. Robertson's got to buckle down. With Hawkins at third, Hicks at second, Brazil at first. That's outside. So baseball 101 would dictate here that he will be taking all day long, Holloman, until he gets a strike. Landon Holloman, not the biggest guy you're ever going to see, but you talk about a baseball player and an athlete. Very light on his feet, knows the game super smart, and rarely hurts his team defensively. 2-0 the count. They play him straight away here. The wind is not a factor, has not been a factor. 2-0. Strike on the corner. And as I said, you could have bet the mortgage that Holloman was on the take there until he got a strike. Now he'll have to get to work. This is where Robertson makes his money right here. 2-1 pitch. There's another one. And he just challenged Holloman with 2 fastballs there, and Holloman let him go, and they were right down Broadway. So Deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs across for Sumrall in the first inning. But they're batting here in the second inning. Swung on. Here's a chopper toward third. Kane dives, can't get it. Into left field. Run scores. Here comes another one rounding third. On the way to home. Hicks scores. Hawkins has scored. 2 more runs are in, and it's 4-0 Sumrall. Holloman hit it about the only place that the Bobcats couldn't quite get to, or the Wildcats around they couldn't quite get to.
Number 34, Walker Long.
And now here's Walker Long, the Sumrall catcher. So it's a 2 RBI, 2 out base knock for Holloman. Long reached on a fielder's choice. His first at bat, then McNair ran for him, and McNair wound up being the second run across. Ball into left field, gets away from the defenders, and everybody will move up a base. Brazil, the soccer star, very fleet of foot. He took off toward third, and then Holloman followed him into second. So runners at second and third. 2 outs. First base is open. The first pitch to Walker Long is outside, ball 1. Walker Long headed to Holmes Community College next year. Pearl River and East Central had a big series today. East Central won game 1, 8-7. Breaking ball outside. That's game 1 of a doubleheader up in Decatur. Probably the number 1 item on the social calendar in Decatur today. Here's the 2-0 pitch. High, 3-0 now. You can tell Long getting a little bit impatient here, wants to see something to hit, but first base is open, and Connor Walker's on deck. He's a left-handed hitter, so the Wildcats would get a lefty-lefty matchup, but there's a strike. Two in the first, 2 in the second. Here for Sumrall, they lead at 4-0. The 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Just missed. Walker Long is aboard. So the bases are loaded, and here comes McNair again to run for him. But the Wildcats do get the lefty-lefty matchup here. Robertson and Connor Walker, the 2 lefties battling here with 2 outs. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Bobcats will be running on any kind of contact here with 2 away. Trying to increase a 4-0 lead. The 1-0 pitch. That bounces in there. 2-0, so now Connor Walker, no doubt, will have the take sign. Cade Clinton on deck. Four runs on 2 hits for Sumrall. They got those 2 in the first with no hits. There's a strike. Again, Connor Walker undoubtedly on the take. And now he's got the green light. The 2-1 offering. Breaking ball. Foul it off to the left. So now Deuce is wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Walker, the 8th man of the inning, up to bat. Cade Clinton would make the 9th hitter if he would get up there. The 2-2 pitch, outside, 3-2. This is a big pitch right here. Runners will be moving, perhaps slowly, but as soon as he commits to the plate, off they will go. There they go, the carousel moving, and it's outside, ball 4. Brazil comes in to step on home. And it's another run for Sumrall. Kyle Lindsay out of the dugout. Been no indication yet that he's going to the pen. Connor Walker just recorded the easiest RBI of his career. But on that play, Holloman moves to third. McNair, running for long, moves to second. And Connor Walker running for himself at first. There is a pitching change here in Columbia. We'll have it for you when we return with the Bobcats leading 5-0. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Najee Kane, the third baseman for the Wildcats, comes in relief, finishing his warm-up tosses. Cade Clinton will be the first man he faces when he comes up. Updating the scoreboard, junior college action. Game 2 of that doubleheader up in Decatur. Pearl River 5, East Central nothing in the third inning of that game. Wildcats have got to win that to avoid being swept. They've got the big showdown with Jones next Tuesday down in Pop Vegas. Jones, the #1 team in the MAC this year, the MACCC. So Kane will go from the windup here with the bases loaded. Clinton struck out swinging his first time up, but he did not face Najee Kane. First pitch is a strike on the corner. Najee got a offer to play at Mississippi Valley. Not sure that he's going to use it or just go to school to be a student. 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1. Najee wants to talk to his catcher. A weird line score for Sumrall. 5 runs on 2 hits. Both in this inning. And both singles. The 1-1 pitch from Kane. Too high. 2-1. So Clinton with a hitter's count. And Landon Hawkins on deck. There are 2 outs here. Sometimes that third one is the toughest one to get. That is swung on and out of play to the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cade Clinton. We mentioned he played right field last night. He also caught a couple of innings. but has done most of his legwork in left field, and that's where he is tonight. Kane gets the sign, kicks and delivers. Outside, 3-2. Karam's right off of the bricks, right back here to home plate. So now again the carousel will begin to turn here with 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Everybody will be on the move. There the runners go. Swing and a miss. He got Clinton to go upstairs and miss it with the strikeout. The Bobcats come up with 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, 3 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning here in Marion County. It's Sumrall 5, Columbia nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Hobgood, Robertson, and Breland to face Drew Davis. Davis did surrender a hit in the first inning, but wound up striking out the side. And here's Hobgood to lead it off. Don't forget our text line, 601-310-7077. Way to go, Bobcats. A message from Nell and Frank Henderson in Sumrall. Thank you very much, Nell and Frank. There's a swung on, a chopper to short. Backhanded by Holloman, comes up throwing, and out, number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Doesn't get much more efficient than that. And here's Lane Robertson. Yes, Nell and Frank Henderson left a very nice personal note. Thank you, folks. It's very kind. Here we go as Lane Robertson now battling his pitching counterpart for Sumrall, Drew Davis. That first pitch is high and away. Bobcats play him to go the opposite way, just a hair. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, and there's a little looper into left field. That's a base hit. Pitch that was kind of inside, and with an inside-out swing, took it the opposite way. Nice job by Robertson. It doesn't matter how it looks. It matters that he's on first base, and here's Breland now. M.T. Breland. He's the second baseman for Kyle Lindsay. Bobcats will look for that crisply hit ground ball right at somebody. First pitch from Davis is fouled into the screen. Breland was sitting dead red fastball there. He got it and just couldn't barrel it up. 0-1 with Grayson Carney, the catcher, on deck in this cat fight. The Wildcats against the Bobcats. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball high. Nice job by Walker Long to try to frame that pitch and pull it down, but it was out of the zone. Throw to first base. Breland hitting 8th in the order. As the Wildcats bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Open stance. There's a chopper into right field, a base hit. So the Wildcats going station to station here. All this after a ground ball out by Hobgood.
And now we have number 19, Grayson Carney.
Here's the catcher now. This is the 8th grader. So you got two 8th graders battling each other here now. Carney at the plate and Davis on the hill. What a great opportunity for these two youngsters. Kyle Lindsay down by 5 runs. The breaking ball missed low to Carney. His first view of Davis tonight. Lots of room in left center field. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Strike. Najee Kane on deck. Davis off of the pitching rubber to get settled back in there. Checks the runners and comes to the plate. Breaking ball away. 2-1. The postseason begins next Tuesday for both of these clubs. And that's really the one that counts, right? The one that can potentially bring you the trophy. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball strike at the belt buckle. 2-2 to Grayson Carney. Low. 3-2. So now does Kyle Lindsay put the runners in motion here with 1 out and 3-2. Normally, when you're behind, you would not. But sometimes it's worth the roll of the dice. We'll see what he decides to do here. Runners are not going. Swung on and fouled into the screen. And really that decision is usually predicated on whether you think your hitter is going to put the ball in play or not. If you don't think your hitter is going to put the ball in play, you're running potentially into a double play. The strikeout at the plate and then a throw out at one of the bases. Runners not going. 3-2 pitch, swung on, grounded to short. Holloman to second for 1, on to first. What a play by Landon Holloman, sitting on his rear end, turns a 6-4-3. Did I tell you that kid can play defense? Unbelievable play turned by the Bobcats, and they turned the Wildcats away. No runs on 2 hits. No errors. 1 man left. We've completed 2 here tonight in Columbia. It's Sumrall 5, Columbia nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Najee Kane getting ready to face the the Bobcats rather. Hawkins will be the first one. Hawkins, Odom, and Hicks as we go to the top of the 3rd. Hawkins singled and scored his first time up. pitched real well last night up in Mize. And at the hot corner tonight. And you would expect during Sumrall's playoff run that he'll be on the mound a little more than maybe you saw him during the regular season. See how Andy Davis plays it here. So Kane against Hawkins in the top of the third. First pitch from Kane is right there for strike one. Najee Kane. Kane spelled C-A-I-N. Najee, N-A-J-I. Took something off of that bender, and it's outside. 1-1. Sumrall versus Oak Grove on Thursday now. Over at the Grove. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside. Or the 2-1 the count. The first pitch was a strike. Kane delivers. Outside, 3-1. Columbia pitching has 5 strikeouts to their credit. That's outside. So Hawkins with a leadoff walk. Here's Leo Odom, who was one of those strikeout victims in his only other at bat. But Odom's strikeout was against Lane Robertson. So Odom struck out against the lefty. This is his first view of Najee Kane. Swung on, chopped wide of third, foul. Saw Coach Chip Bilderback here earlier tonight, the football coach at Columbia. Of course, his wife Missy Bilderback, the award-winning coach at Jones College, just took the women's head coaching job at Louisiana Monroe. Here's the 0-1. Runner going. Throw to second base is high. And Hawkins is there. So runner at second. No outs and a 1-1 count to Leo Odom. And now Carney wants to go out and discuss it with his pitcher. Leo is one of those good old-fashioned names that you don't really hear much anymore. Do you? There were a lot of Pope Leos in the Catholic Church. But that's been when I was a kid, about 400 years ago. The 1-1 pitch swung on. Here's a chopper toward third. Handled it on one play. And nice base running by Hawkins, even though he was checked at second base. He advanced on the throw afterwards. Odom is out on the 5-3.
Number 1, Tyson Hicks.
One away, and here's Tyson Hicks, who walked and scored in his only other trip to the plate. Boy, where we are seated here, and you talk about, Mac, do we not have position A here? I mean, this is the best seat in the house here in Columbia. A safety squeeze going here. Kane throws to first. They got him, and Hawkins had to hold up. The spin originally gave Kane some problems, but he was able to keep himself gathered enough to make the play and keep Hawkins at third. And here's Baudouin. Baudouin struck out swinging his first time up. First pitch is right there. Baudouin batting ninth in the order. He pitched a little bit last night in the Mize game. But I'm telling you, that home run that he hit was a nuke. Here's a chopper towards short. This is going to be a tough play. Baudouin runs well, and he beat it out. Hawkins scores. And Baudouin with an infield hit is at first base and back to the top of the order. Barrett Brazil, who has walked twice. He has scored once. So Sumrall keeps up this unbelievable run of scoring. They scored in every inning except one last night in Mize. And here tonight in Columbia, they've scored in every inning. So Brazil gets some last-minute instructions from boss man, Andy Davis. Showing bunt here to see what the Columbia defense will do. I'm not sure that the Wildcats think that Brazil would really bunt. But he's showing the bunt. But the true test will be if he gets those feet around in more of a bunting position. Shows it and then pulls it back. That's a strike. Brazil, if he chose to bunt and would have to push one down the third base line, he's fast enough that he could get it done. But with 2 outs, it's quite a gamble. Kane really bothered by Baudouin over there at first. Sumrall batting in the top of the third with a 6-0 lead. Too high, throw down to second base. Baudouin on the steal attempt, and he is out at second. And it was just, there was a kind of a minor collision there, but that was just inertia, momentum carrying him forward. Great throw by Carney to get him out. And Brazil will start the 4th inning with a fresh count. But the Bobcats come up with one run on 1 hit. No errors, and as it turns out, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's Sumrall 6, Columbia nothing. This is the Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel. So the bottom of the 3rd has the top of the Columbia order. Najee Kane led off the game with a single, and he is leading off the 3rd inning against Drew Davis. Drew Davis has given up 3 hits tonight, all of the single variety. But the Bobcat defense has been able to keep the Wildcats at bay. Swung on a high fly ball to right field. Baudouin comes in to make the grab. He had a beat on it from the get-go. And Kane, just like last inning, 1 pitch, 1 out. And here's Colin Haney now. He struck out looking. Davis has struck out 3 tonight. Last night, Davis wasn't pitching, but the Sumrall defense turned 2 double plays last night, and they've got 1 here tonight. Breaking ball strike to Haney. Boy, Brazil is shaded way to the right of the second base bag. The 0-1 pitch. Tried to work it inside, but it was too far. Dylan Wallace on deck. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball away. And we have it on good authority that Dylan Wallace will not be yelled at tonight. We have that on very good authority. That's an inside joke, folks. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, that's a little liner to center field and drops for a base hit. Haney's aboard with a 1-out single. And here comes Dylan Wallace.
Number 9, Dylan Wallace.
That's the 4th hit that Davis has given up. The Wildcats are putting the bat on the ball. Odom trying to slap the glove on him there before he got back to the bag. Kyle Lindsey in the long sleeves down there at the 3rd. Both teams with blue and yellow team colors. The Columbia High Wildcats. The city of Columbia. It's a city school. Breaking ball. Wide of 3rd. Then you've got the private school Columbia Academy. You've got the county schools of East Marion, which, gosh, East Marion is down to what, 2A now? Maybe 1A? Wow. Back when Les Peters was the head coach there, and Bobby Hamilton and some of the best football players to ever play in this state. Some pretty decent ones at Columbia High, too, but I'm just saying at East Marion. Then the West Marion Trojans. Here's the 0-1. Strike. Fastball. 0-2 now to the right fielder, Eli Lowry. The first baseman is on deck. He walked earlier. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball. Again, tried to frame it, but that pitch was upstairs. Can't fault a catcher for trying to get away with that. He was ahead in the count 0-2 anyway, so it wasn't one that a pitcher wants to put in too good of a place to hit. The 1-2 breaking ball. There's a slow roller to 3rd. This is problems for Sumrall. That's an infield hit for Wallace. There was no way that they were going to get Wallace out, even had Hawkins fielded that cleanly. And here's Lowry. So we'll see what Lowry has here for Davis. Breaking ball inside. In the 2nd inning, Hobgood grounded out, 1 pitch, 1 out. Then Robertson and Breland singled. Then Carney hit into a double play. In this inning, a fly ball out by Kane, and then back-to-back singles by Haney and Wallace. So far, this inning a replica of last inning. But the Bobcats were able to get out of any potential problems by the 6-4-3 turned by Holloman. Pickoff play to second is feinted there. You know, I know a lot of little kids, everybody wants to get up there and hit the ball and knock it to the fence, but man, if you can play defense, you can play on my team. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball. Strike. And that just shows you that play that Holloman made last inning. I mean, the Wildcats had some wind in their sail. And that great play that Holloman made just totally messed it up. Look out. 1-6-3. Another double play. That'll do it. The Wildcats come up with no runs on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left on base. We've completed 3 here in Marion County. It's Sumrall 6, Columbia nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Remember the bottom, or the Sumrall's last at bat in the top of the 3rd. Baudouin got rung up trying to steal second base. Brazil was at bat, so he'll go up there again to lead off the 4th with a fresh count. After listening to some boot scoot boogie here in Columbia. First pitch from Kane. You know, a lot of country music last night was played at Mize, and I just want to ask, would it kill anybody to play some Foghat every once, or Molly Hatchet, any of that stuff? What about Molly Hatchet, Mac? You a fan? Never heard of them? Some good Southern fried rock. 2-0 the count to Brazil. He's already walked twice tonight and ahead in the count here. Here's the 2-0. Strike on the inside corner. Holloman on deck, followed by Walker Long. The top 3 in the Sumrall order here in the 4th. Too high. 3-1. Defense straight up for Brazil. That's a strike. And really, Kane has just been peppering fastballs in there. So we'll see if he comes with anything different on the payoff. 3-2. Strike at the knees. And Brazil down on strikes.
Number 7, Randy Holloman.
So here's Holloman now. He has walked and singled with a couple of RBIs. And I know you folks watching at home will be flabbergasted to know that the Sumrall folks did not like that call, and the Columbia folks thought it was the perfect call. Swung on, chopper towards second. Throw, quick release to get Holloman out. 2 up and 2 down. So Najee Kane doing a good job keeping the Bobcats at bay here. But Walker Long has been on twice. He's reached on a fielder's choice and has walked. Breaking ball away. Both times that Long got on, he was lifted for Malik McNair. The speed merchant, Malik McNair. The 1-0 pitch. Must have been called low there. 2-0. Kane from the full windup. Swung on. Here's a roller towards short. This is a base hit. There's no way they would have gotten him. Walker long with a 2-out single. And guess who? Malik McNair to come in and run for long. So here's Connor Walker. Walker has struck out looking, and he's walked. That pitch is outside. I would not be surprised to see McNair on the move as quick as he is. McNair back to the bag, and McNair really not even with that big of a lead over there. He was able to get in standing up. And McNair's one of those guys that is so fast, he really doesn't need that big of a lead. That's not a very big lead at all over there at first. And speed kills. There's a drive to left center field, but right there to pull it in is Walker Hobgood. They had positioned beautifully. No runs, one hit, no errors, one man left on for Sumrall. We go to the bottom of the fourth here in Columbia. It's the Bobcats 6, the Wildcats nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So J.R. Rogers, Walker Hobgood, and Lane Robertson to face Drew Davis here in the bottom of the fourth. Sumrall leading 6-0. Rogers struck out swinging in his first at bat. Breaking ball into the screen. 0-1. Rogers, the DH, hitting for the center fielder, Luke Masello. Davis from kind of a angle approach on that mound was called outside. And he signaled to Coach Andy Davis, who wanted to know where it was, and he kind of motioned with that right hand that it was off the plate. 1-1. Swung on. Here's a chopper to short. Holloman's got it. You see how he just takes that glove up above his head? It's like, watch me. And throws over to first base. He is a magician with that glove. And here's Hobgood now, who took a base hit away from Connor Walker. But in his only other at bat, he grounded to short. And the shortstop, with all due respect to all the Sumrall players, the shortstop is not the guy you want to hit it to. The 1-0 pitch. Low, that's in the dirt. Nice job by Long keeping it in front of him. If you haven't checked in yet tonight, you're always welcome to it. 601-310-7077. Here's swung on, lifted towards center field. Brazil's first action of the night. He puts that one in his back pocket for out number 2.
23, Lane Robertson.
So here's Robertson. He's singled on a little flare out to left field, his first at bat. And then Breland came up right behind him and also got a single. Righty versus lefty. That kind of skips up there on one hop for ball 1. Brazil moved over toward left field. Nothing wind-aided tonight. It's been a very pleasant night and a easy night for the outfielders to read, not having to deal with the wind. Inner half of the plate strike there. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a foul tip. Probably the toughest part of broadcasting these games over the years is lots of times you're close to the concession stand and the wonderful aromas of grilled chicken and hamburgers and whatever else might be on the grill permeates the press box, and it's difficult to stay away from that good stuff. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty here in the bottom of the 4th for the Wildcats. The pitch fouled off. Lane Robertson hanging in there. 6 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Sumrall. No runs, 5 hits, 2 miscues for the Wildcats. And that hit him. Boy, Davis wanted to crank that bender in there, and that was
And now we have number 7, MT Breland.
way inside. So Robertson is on for the 2nd time. Here's Breland now hitting 8th in the order for Kyle Lindsey. First pitch from Davis. It swung on and fouled down the right field line. Boy, there was a Columbia fan, or no, it was the Sumrall bullpen. One of the Sumrall guys had his back turned. And that one would have been Excedrin headache number 20. But the fence was right there to... I'm sorry about the Excedrin headache number 20. There might be young people in the crowd that have no idea what I'm talking about. Swung on. Slow roller to the right side. Fielded by Hicks. And he makes the play. Stayed with it. And Breland is out. They strand a runner, but we've completed 4 here in Columbia tonight. 6-0. Sumrall back in a moment. Bobcats come to bat in the top of the 5th inning. Clinton, Hawkins, and Odom will be the offerings
Number 2, Kate Clinton.
as the person in charge of the music tonight deserves a huge raise. In fact, they should give him 3 times what he makes. Multiply it by 3 after playing Molly Hatchet tonight. And I know some of the younger listeners will have to get on their phones and Google Molly Hatchet. Are you doing that, Mac? Clinton fouls the first pitch away. The 0-1 from Kane, it's inside 1-1. Molly Hatchet, some good southern fried rock. I don't know if they use that term anymore. Like they did when I was growing up, it was southern fried rock. You know, with the Marshall Tucker Band and Leonard Skinnard. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a strike on the corner. Clinton looking to put the bat on the ball tonight for the first time. Cade playing left field. Little Feet is also in that group. Swing and a miss, but this ball gets away. Clinton races down to first base, and he's there. So it'll go in the book as a strikeout. But now here comes Hawkins, who has scored twice tonight. He has singled and walked, but has been plated both times. Sumrall batting in the top of the 5th inning, looking to finish out the district campaign tonight. Find out later tonight if they're a 1 or a 2 seed and where that playoff trail will begin next Tuesday. Swung on. That is a drive to center field. That ball is well hit. Aloha on the steel guitar. Landon Hawkins has done some yard work. He crushed that Kane fastball to near the deepest part of the ballpark. A 2-run homer. Has made it 8-0.
Number 4, Leo Odom.
So here's Odom. Leo, who had been seeing the ball really well, struck out swinging and has grounded out to third. Looks like one of those weighted balls that the Columbia pitchers use to get loose with or exercise with has come onto the field. So Kane throws it back to the bullpen. So Odom, Hicks, and Baudouin. Ball 1 to Odom. Nijah Kane from the full windup. You know, you see pitchers now lots of times, even with the bases loaded, will go from the stretch. That's outside. Both teams now with 5 hits. But Sumrall again on a torrid scoring rampage. There's a swing and a miss. All the runs they put up, was it 19 last night in Mize? 8 tonight here in Columbia. That's got to sit well with Andy Davis as this club gets ready for the playoffs next week. The 2-1 pitch. Strike on the corner. 2-2 now to Leo Odom. 7th in that batting order. 3rd this inning. The 2-2 offering way outside. Nijah Kane on in relief of Lane Robertson. Meanwhile, Jacob Pace has come in to play third base for the Wildcats. Tyson Hicks on deck. He's waiting for another at bat. Payoff pitch coming to Leo Odom. Swung on. Here's a drive to right center field. That ball is well hit. That goes up against the fence on one hop. Odom continues his streak. He's in there with a double. So the Bobcats continue to see the ball well. Miss Anita Sumrall has texted us on the text line that the Lady Cat softball team has won 5-3 tonight. So continuing to play well. Congratulations to the Lady Bobcats. Here's Hicks now. He has walked and grounded to the pitcher. First pitch to Hicks is inside, ball one. Hicks, the right-handed thrower and right-handed thrower, left-handed hitter. Baudouin on deck, inside. That one nearly hit him. And he's ahead in the count now, 2-0. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors, which includes High and Tight Gentlemen's Club, Park Right Striping and Seal Coating. The best place to get a haircut. Windburn Lawn and Landscaping, the Alpha Insurance Agency of Spencer Nixon. We thank him for his support. The 3-0 pitch. He was on the take all the way. There's strike one. The architect firm of Landry, Lewis, and Germany. Kids Campus Learning Center. Kids with a K, Campus with a K. Learning Center. Watts Brothers Implements. Here's the 3-1. Low, ball 4. So it's another walk for Hicks. He's officially 0 for 1 on the night with 2 walks. And here's Baudouin, who has struck out and singled with an RBI. Also thanks to American Graphics. Real South Hunting, and Real South Hunting has been a sponsor for a long time of the webcasts. Tries to put the bunt down and missed it. As has Diversified Forestry Management. Thank you to Diversified and Real South especially. They've been with us as sponsors a long, long time. We'll see if Baudouin shows bunt again. He does. Puts it right down in front of the plate. They'll go to first on the sacrifice. Good team baseball. Advances the runners into scoring position.
Number 13, Brazil.
And here's Brazil now. The sac bunt goes in the books. Brazil has walked twice and struck out looking. Wildcats have pulled the infield in to try to cut down a run at the plate. First pitch from Kane. High and away, ball 1. 2 in the first for Sumrall, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fifth. And that's where they are right now in the fifth, with runners on second and third. The 1-0 pitch. Outside and high, 2-0. Kane comes set, the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, popped it up. Left side, shallow, in the outfield. Hopgood is there to put it in his glove. All the runners will hold, and there's 2 away now.
Number 7, Landon Holloman.
And here's Holloman. Holloman has walked, singled with a couple of RBIs, and grounded to second. So with 2 outs now, the Wildcats will move the defense back into regular depth. First pitch to him is a strike on the corner. Kane working ahead in the count. You have so many more options when you get ahead in that count as to what pitches you could throw if you have 2 or 3 different pitches. But when you get behind and then you're forced to throw fastballs, man, it could just be feasting for another team if they hit the fastballs well. That breaking ball is out 1-1. So Holloman officially 1 for 2 with a run scored and a couple of RBIs. But he has, per usual, played outstanding defense. That ball is up and in. Holloman, although probably many coaches would think a little bit undersized, but man, if I'm coaching at the next level, he's one of those guys like have you get a lead and put him in there and let him defend. If you don't think he can hit, let him protect the lead. 3-1 now. I know that's kind of an old school approach, but it's worked for a long time. So on check swing down to first base. Play will be made unassisted, and that'll do it. It was kind of an excuse me ground ball. But Holloman is out on the 3 unassisted, but the Bobcats do come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Columbia. It's 8-0 Sumrall. Back in just a moment. So Keaton Malden comes on in relief now. Drew Davis done for the night. And the senior left-hander will be called upon here to keep the Wildcats at an arm's length here with a comfortable 8-0 lead. Malden will face Carney, Kane, and Haney. 9, 1, and 2. This is only Carney's second at bat officially. So a bat here in the 5th inning. He grounded into a 6-4-3, his only other at bat. So he'll face the left-hander, Malden. First pitch is there for a strike. The thing about Keaton Malden is this left-hander, he is always around the plate. He's not necessarily going to blow it past you at 88 miles an hour or something like that, but he is never too far off of the plate. He'll nibble the corners, change his speeds a little bit, work up and down. But that's called pitching, not just throwing. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. Here's a drive to center field, but playable. Brazil's right there and has it for out number 1. Sumrall pitchers have done a pretty good job tonight at keeping the first hitters for Columbia off base. Here's Nigel Kane now. He has singled and flown to right. And Malden is the type of guy, because he's not a big strikeout pitcher, he trusts his defense to make the plays behind him. And that has been the recipe for his success. 1-0 the count to Kane. High, 2-0. Haney on deck as the Wildcats bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. John Sapin Field. That's low, 3-0. That's a strike. I see Keaton's dad, Kevin, over here to the right in the bleachers. Good, like I say, good turnout of Sumrall fans tonight. Most of them have gotten under the blankets now. That one's high for ball 4. So Kane is on for the second time tonight.
Number 2, Colin Haney.
Here's Colin Haney working on a 1-for-2 night with a strikeout and a single. The Bobcats, like last night, they were got Kane in a rundown here now. He bought that, and he is tagged out on the play. The Bobcats execute the hot box perfectly. Najee Kane got too big of a lead, and Malden, looking at him from that left side, hung him out to dry. 2 away. Base is empty now. And Colin Haney, the hitter. First pitch is a strike. Landon Holloman out there doing some work with that dirt. He's got some nervous twitches at shortstop. I just think it's a lot of energy that he likes to work off there. That's fouled into the screen. 0-2 now. Malden ahead in the count. Oh, 2 pitches in the dirt. The 1-2 pitch. Boy, he just tried to float that breaking ball in there. Just wouldn't drop in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yeah, because some of that nervous energy. Maybe call him a Red Bull, huh? 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Got him looking. And Haney down on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We've completed 5 here in Columbia. It's 8-0 Sumrall back for the top of the 6th. Hitters 3, 4, and 5 for the Bobcats when we return in a moment. Johnny Myers, the big left-hander, on to pitch for the Wildcats here in the top of the 6th inning, and he'll face Walker Long, Connor Walker, and Cade Clinton. The third pitcher, Johnny Myers. Sumrall has just used the 2. The Wildcats started with Lane Robertson. Then he was relieved by Najee Kane.
And to pitch number 33, Johnny Myers, and at the bat, number 34, Walker Long.
And now, Johnny Myers. Lefty versus righty. Walker Long has reached on a fielder's choice. He's walked and singled. That's inside, ball 1. Connor Walker's on deck. Connor Walker has an RBI tonight, but he got it via the walk. And Johnny Myers, one of those pitchers that we said even with nobody on base, he's going from the stretch. That pitch is outside, ball 2. So Najee Kane done for the night. And all in all, not a bad effort for Najee. Here's the 2-0. High, 3-0 now. Walker Long looks disgusted. He wants to hit the ball, and he'll be taking here on 3-0. You can tell by that very enthusiastic approach at the plate. There's a strike. But when you look at Johnny Myers, who played in the JV game earlier and hit one to shortstop, and when you look at a guy like Johnny Myers, you wouldn't think that he'd be able to get down the line very well. I mean, he's just a big dude. But, man, he flew down the line and nearly beat it out. That's outside, ball 4. So Walker Long is on, and that means that Malik McNair will come in to run for him. Almost goes without saying anymore, doesn't it? And here's Connor Walker, the DH. Sumrall batting in the 6th. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Cade Clinton waiting in the on-deck circle. The Wildcats over here to our right. Their dugout backs up to the new turfed bullpens back there. Runner going. Swung on and fouled back into the screen. And Connor Walker has to send the runner back. And Andy Davis was saying that Malik McNair had second base stolen, so leave that pitch alone. Throw over to first base. Now McNair knew that he was going to go over there. 8 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Sumrall. No runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Columbia. Again, a throw to first. Connor Walker, the DH, was hitting for Drew Davis, who was the starter tonight for Sumrall on the mound. And that's strike 3. Connor Walker is out. 1 away. And here's Cade Clinton. So Johnny Myers checks the runner. Shortens it up, throws to second base. It's high, a high throw. McNair had it stolen. Throw might have gotten him just a little bit elevated. So here's Clinton with a 1-0 count. Hawkins is on deck. We'll see what he does for an encore after he had a Herculean mash in center field, a home run earlier tonight. 1-0 pitch is swung on and swatted into the net behind us. Clinton does have a run scored when he reached on the drop third. His last at bat. McNair in a non-force situation at second base. Going to third, and they'll give it to him uncontested. 2-1 the count to Cade Clinton. You'll have to follow Sumrall Bobcat Athletics on the different social media platforms to find out what the playoff schedule will be for next week. Swung on, and that is belted out of play over into Walter Payton Field here to our right. And I don't know what the playoff ticket prices will be, but no doubt the MHSAA will have their hand in the pot somewhere. My only editorial comment of the evening. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled into the screen. So a good at bat here for Clinton. Regardless of what happens, McNair would tag on a moderately hit fly ball. Steve Cooley has broken out the pullover down there at first base. 2-2 pitch. Fouled again. Clinton battling here, but so too is Johnny Myers. Clinton batting fifth in the order for Andy Davis, who has just done a remarkable job since they initially named him interim head coach and then made him the head coach. He was the guy. 2-2 pitches outside, 3-2. And it's been remarkable. You know, he seems to me to have a very laid-back style that the guys can relate to, and anytime you're relaxed doing whatever you're doing, you're going to perform better. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Clinton out on strikes. 2 away. And here's Hawkins now.
Number 16, Landon Hawkins.
Hawkins has singled and scored, walked and scored, and has a 2-run blast. First pitch to him. That gets away from the catcher up into the screen, so McNair scores. It's another inning with at least 1 run scored for the Bobcats. It is 9-0. And Hawkins with a 1-0 count. He has scored all 3 times he's been at the plate tonight. After pitching, twirling a good one last night up in Mize. The 1-0 pitch. High and away, 2-0. City of Columbia, of course, has been making all kinds of headlines with the great Christmas time festivities that they've got in downtown Columbia. They're just getting ready, if it's not already open, a new youth sports complex over right here behind Walter Payton Field. Turfed fields, beautiful complex. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouled into the screen. So they got it going on in Columbia. Two and one to Hawkins as the Bobcats bat here in the top of the 6th. Swung on, kind of fought him off to the inside off the fist. Lawrence County has defeated Poplarville 10-9 in 8 innings. Lawrence County has defeated Poplarville in extra innings. So that would mean Columbia would be the 3 and Sumrall would be the 1, if I'm not mistaken. So that is a final. Thank you, Richard, for that update. Swing and a miss. Hawkins down on strikes. The Bobcats do come up with 1 run on no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th here in Columbia. It's the Bobcats 9, the Wildcats nothing. Back in just a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Dylan Wallace, Eli Lowry, and J.R. Rogers, the scheduled hitters in the 6th against Keaton Malden. So again, with that score that we have reported, with Lawrence County beating Poplarville 10-9 in 8 innings, that, with a Sumrall win here, I think makes Sumrall the number 1 seed. Purvis would be 2, Columbia would be 3, and Poplarville would be 4. Want to know the count to Wallace. He has struck out and singled. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Wallace playing right field tonight. In very classy uniforms that Columbia has, very much like Mize's last night. It's good to see that there's still some decorum and respect for the game of baseball. The nice uniforms. The 2-1 pitch from Malden. Strike on the corner. Looks like Dr. Jack Miller is beginning to warm up in the Sumrall bullpen. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3, and he knew it. As he heads back to the dugout dejected. Here's Lowry. He has walked and grounded into a double play. Swung on. Slow roller to second. Hicks gobbles it up and throws to first for the second out of the inning. So J.R. Rogers now comes up to bat. He has struck out and grounded to short. Keaton Malden again, nothing necessarily fancy, but a good steady performer. That's inside for ball 1. Rogers hitting 5th in the order. Should he reach, then Walker Hobgood would come to bat. Wildcats batting in the bottom of the 6th. Base is empty, 2 away. Here's the 1-0. I don't know where that was, but it goes as ball 2. Swing and a miss. Boy, Rogers tried a moonshot with that one and missed it. 2-1. Holloman shading toward the hole at shortstop. 2-1 pitch is low. 3-1. Keaton Malden works quickly too. Gets the sign, hides the ball in that mitt, and there's ball 4. So Rogers is on. Here's Hobgood. He has grounded to short and flied to center. Malden checked the runner briefly, popped it up again. And this is a high fly ball. Baudouin waves off Barrett Brazil to glove the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We've completed 6 here in Columbia. It's Sumrall 9, Columbia nothing. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. We head to the top of the 7th inning. 7, 8, and 9 in the Sumrall order. It'll be Odom, Hicks, and Baudouin. Again, we think if this score holds, again, that Sumrall will be the number 1 seed. And it wouldn't necessarily be, that big of a difference as to who you play, because you'd get the home field advantage being a 1 or a 2 seed, but still it's always nice to be recognized as the top seed. First pitch is swung on and fouled into the screen. Odom has struck out, grounded to 3rd, and has doubled. Johnny Myers on for his 2nd inning of relief here for the Wildcats. Another meticulous field here in Columbia. 0-1 pitch off the plate, 1-1. The Wildcats playing Odom to go the opposite way. All kinds of room in left center field. If one were to get over Colin Haney's head at shortstop, it could be trouble for the Cats. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2-1. So Keaton Malden has done a great job in relief. We'll see if he comes back out on the 7th. Dr. Jack Miller has been warming up, so he may get the call. But we'll see. Myers back to work on Odom. That's a strike. 2-2 now to the leadoff hitter. Tyson Hicks on deck. Thanks to everybody who has texted in tonight and extended kind words. We always enjoy bringing you these games, but it wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. 2-2 pitch. Have to clean that up on the strikeout. And there's one away. Odom with a K, and here's Hicks now. Lefty versus lefty, this matchup. I think a couple of years ago, or maybe it was last year late, when we kind of put out the word to everybody that we were looking to get some high-def equipment because some of the computers and cameras that we had were on their last legs, so to speak, and you all came through big time. And we've got state-of-the-art equipment that bring you the view. First pitch is low, ball 1 to Hicks. He's walked a couple times and grounded to the pitcher. He's officially 0 for 1. Sumrall batting in the top of the 7th. They scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and have been in control. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped it up, but fouled out of play. A ball, a strike, and an out. Base is empty here. The 1-1 pitch is low, 2-1. Hicks, a deliberate worker. He's got Kane at third base, Haney at short, Breland at second, and Lowry at first. That's the Columbia infield. Here's the 2-1. There's a strike. Hobgood in left. Macello in center, and Wallace in right. That's been the Wildcats most of the night. Jacob Pace did get some time in at third. Here's the 2-2. Fouled again into the screen. Hicks kind of having to wait on that ball to get there. So 2-2. Baudouin waiting for his turn on deck. Too low, 3-2. Johnny Myers. On the hill for the Wildcats in this cat fight. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck out Hicks. 2 up and 2 down. 5 strikeouts for Myers. And here's Baudouin. He has struck out, singled with an RBI, and put down a sacrifice bunt. So he's officially 1 for 2 with a ribby. First pitch from Myers. Swung on, popped out of play on the right side. Baudouin really strong, too. And when those hands, when he recognizes the pitch that he wants, and he pulled those hands through last night at Mize, that ball was shot down by the Biden administration. Here's the 0-1. That's low. It was shot down because they thought it was a balloon, a Chinese balloon, but should Baudouin reach, then they'd go to the top of the order. Barrett Brazil on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, slapped into left field. There you see the power of Baudouin and the speed getting down to first base. He's there with a 2-out knock. And here's Brazil. Brazil has walked twice, struck out looking, and popped to left. And when you're keeping the book, what's the difference between a pop to left and a fly to left? And I always say the pop is the shallow, kind of when a fly to left is, yeah, moderate to deeply hit. And he was coming in behind Holloman, or Hobgood came in behind Haney to make that grab. 1-0 to Brazil. The 1-0 swung on, fouled out of play. Bobcats, I think this is uniform combination about 20. Bobcats have got a ton of different uniforms that they go with. All the different selections they have, I still think they favor those powder blues from head to toe. The 1-1 pitch. Strike on the corner. Brazil wants to gather himself a little bit here. Should he reach, then Holloman would come up. Now, when you look at Holloman's batting numbers, he's 1 for 3 with a couple of RBIs, but what he brings to this club defensively is invaluable. Swung on, chopper to short. Flips to second for the out, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We go to the last chance, 7th for the Wildcats. It's 9-0 Bobcats. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So Dr. Jack Miller comes on for the Bobcats. Keaton Malden, 2 innings of work. Malden struck out 2, walked 2, but gave up no runs. And it'll be up to Miller to finish it up, and he will face hitters 7, 8, and 9. Robertson, Breland, and Carney here in the bottom of the 7th. In a game that's never really been in jeopardy for Sumrall. Here's Robertson. He's been on both times. Single and hit by a pitch. So we'll see what Miller, the right-hander, has for him now. The first pitch is a ball. I did get to talk to Jack after the ball game the other night and showed him the picture of Dr. Jack Miller, the former IndyCar driver. Swing and a miss. Nice change of pace there. He had not known of the IndyCar driver Jack Miller, but now knows why we call him Dr. Jack Miller. The 1-1 pitch. Strike on the corner. Again off speed. Sumrall pitching staff for years has been so deep and so talented, and it's all about pitching. It starts and ends with pitching. It's why the big leaguers make all that money and work once every 5 days. Swung on, 1 hopper to short. Holloman's got it. Across the diamond for an easy out. 6-3 on the putout. Robertson is retired. MT Breland, the second baseman, comes up now. He's working on a 1-for-2 night. He has singled and grounded to second. Playing him straight away as the nip of the cool air now hits us through the windows of the press box here. Hospitality is always top-notch in Columbia. Love coming here. First pitch is a breaking ball that missed inside. Always helps a pitcher when you can go out there and know you have a 9-run lead, right? Don't have to always have your best stuff. The 1-0 pitch swung on down the right field line, and that is just foul by about 8 feet. One thing that Andy Davis has really got to be smiling about at this point is the way that the kids are seeing the baseball. They are scoring some runs against decent teams. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Grayson Carney, the Columbia catcher, is on deck. Here in the last chance, 7th, base is empty, 1 out. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and into the screen. Miller very fluid in his delivery, but can play other. He's not just a PO. He's not just a pitcher only. And if you're at Sumrall, you're just glad to get on the field anytime, right? Playing any position. It's been used mostly as a pitcher. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, just missed. Tried to drop the bender in there, the 12-6er. It was just inside. The payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Gobbled up by Hicks, on to first for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down.
Number 19, Grayson Carney.
And here's Grayson Carney. He's grounded into a double play and flown to center. So he's put the ball in play both times. Miller working quickly here. The first pitch to him. Breaking ball too high. Good job by Walker Long to try to frame that up. But it was a little bit upstairs. The 1-0 pitch. That's there. Miller working very deliberately now. Here's the 1-1. Another fastball. Missed low, 2-1. Bobcats looking to record their 20th win of the year. They're 1 out away. The 2-1 pitch. Low, 3-1. Najee Kane is on deck. The 3-1. Strike. So big pitch here for Jack Miller against Grayson Carney. Strike 3, and he knew it. That's the ball game. Jack Miller with the called third strike. Wildcats up and down 1-2-3 in the 7th inning to retire the side and to end the ball game. For the Bobcats, 9 runs, 7 hits, no errors. For Columbia, no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Sumrall ups the record to 20-5 overall. Columbia drops to 14-10, but both teams are playoff bound. You can follow the Bobcats' progress on social media at Sumrall Athletics. Our next webcast will be Friday. Check that. Thursday. They moved that game Thursday. Oak Grove, at Oak Grove, Thursday night. Again, follow social media. That'll be the last regular season game before the Bobcats begin the playoffs next Tuesday in Sumrall. For producer-engineer Mac Baudouin and our executive producer, the one and only Richard Thompson, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. Good night from Columbia, where the Bobcats have defeated the Wildcats 9-0. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on the Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel.